number 3 in our celebration of 85 years of Marvel, brought to us by Hasbro Marvel Legends. We have Carol Danvers, aka Warbird. What is good, my peeps? It's the Ruckus coming at you. And what we got going on here is continuing the Marvel 85-year celebration. And what we got here in front of us, something that we kind of wanted an updated version of, kind of, sort of. We're talking about Warbird, Carol Danvers, otherwise known as Miss Marvel, currently known as Captain Marvel. I say Miss Marvel, that's because in this particular costume that you're looking at, she went by both Miss Marvel and then changed her name to Warbird. And you see the two head sculpts in there. Those are what basically, believe it or not, signifies the changes, the difference. She went from a thinner, or I should say a thicker face mask calling herself Miss Marvel, to a thinner one calling herself Warbird. And you see what we got going on there, and you see the rest of her accessories. We've got the current logo for the 85 year anniversary on top. That logo continues. We've got some artwork of Carol on the side looking kind of stern, and then on the rear she's got it going on. Now you see she's sporting some glowing fists there because she became Warbird. It was basically after she came back as from being binary, and she had gained, her powers had been basically enhanced. She was changed up a big time by what would be considered one of her nemesis, the Brood. And anybody that knows about that knows exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, she ended up with energy powers, and she retained them even after she stopped being binary. And you see we're back here to the front. And speaking of that clamshell, as you now know, what we do here is we show you the accessories outside of the packaging, still in the clamshell. You see we've got that other face sculpt for Warbird, a pair of hands, the typical female hands that we've gotten for seems like centuries. And speaking of centuries, the power effects, the wrap around the wrist power effects that we've also gotten for essentially ever. Here's a look at Miss Danvers on our rotating base. You see the 3 colors that she sports for the costume. Black, as in the arms, you know, her arm sleeves, her long arm sleeves that go up to her biceps, and of course the onesie swimsuit with the gold Z, and of course the red sash that she wears around her waist, which is loose fitting, pretty cool. She's got the windswept hair look going on with the head sculpt, and we'll look at that a little bit closer up. And so, looking at that head sculpt, the technology still prevails, as that is a very beautiful visage of Carol. Very nice. Red lips. You see we're rocking with this. This is out of packaging. The thin style mask that just covers the eyes, and the eyes are looking cool there. You see she's got nice blue eyes going on, and once again, like I said, the hair is windswept to her left, blonde, and there is no wash, but the nature of the sculpt, it looks pretty cool. Looking at the rest, you see we got that nice Z streak on her torso, and I'm looking at mine. It is nice and clean, no jaggies. It's pretty cool. It's lined up. I've got her torso twisted a little bit, but trust and believe, it is definitely lined up. I still don't have it. Well, that's because I was messing with her, of course, to make sure that the articulation scheme is cool. But yeah, you could see right there that she's got it going on. She's got the black sleeves on the arms. What that is it's painted, or they're black, and I believe the the skin portion of her arms are painted, both sides. You've got that loose sash. Like I said, you can spin it on either side, and however you choose. And then with the thigh-high boots, that was very in back then. She's got them going on, and it's cool because they're sculpted in. Believe it or not, I'm running a bump. I'm bumping into it, so they're sculpted in. And black down there, and yeah, that's really basically what you got. This is the modified. This is a modified super articulated female buck that we saw basically around this time last year, a little bit earlier, for what am I trying to say here? The Avengers 60th, and we had gotten Natasha Romanoff, aka the Black Widow. She is what introduced that buck. So it's, we either call it the super articulated buck or the Black Widow buck. The first characters that get a new buck usually get the name attached to it. And this is definitely modified, because if you recall, with the Black Widow, she had a zipper up that exposed part of her chest. And get in focus here, and yeah, it exposed part of her chest, so the upper torso is definitely different. And I can tell you all guys right now that as great as this figure is in terms of the look and the articulation, which we'll get to momentarily, the one caveat, the one con is the figure is too short compared to other figures, compared to other female figures. And I can say that because, those that know me kind of sort of regard me as the quote-unquote encyclopedia of Marvel. I could run off, not 100%, but I'm pretty good, almost idiot savant style, with being able to run off certain physical stats, power sets, what have you. Carol Danvers is 5'11". She's tall. You know what I'm saying? Female style tall, 1 inch from 6 feet. So is Aurora Monroe, aka Storm. She's also 5'11". These are tall women, and her original buck, she was taller. You know what I'm saying? And it was on that original Moonstone buck. Anybody that knows about that knows how shapely that particular body mold was. Anyway, what we got going on here is she is a little bit, she's somewhat shorter, and I'll compare and you'll see what I'm talking about. As far as her articulation, her head, of course, can swivel. Because she's got the hair, you can basically scratch her looking up. She can look down, as you can see right there, and you will get some pivot in there. She's got the T-pose action going on, as you can see. She's got very nice butterfly joints. You get arms down so we can see how far back she can rear, which is nice. Very nice. Clasping, cross-chesting, also very nice. You see that? That's pretty good right there. She's got bicep swivel. She's pinless all over the place, double jointed, of course. She's got rotating fists, and they swivel horizontally. Her abs, she's on the diaphragm, so she can go forward just that far. Hasbro still needs to find a way to improve on that, both male and female. She can go back that far, which is cool. You need all you can get because she is a flyer. She can lean with it, rock with it, and of course you can rotate at that diaphragm. Hips, she can get them out pretty nicely. She can kick 90, go back that much. She's got a thigh cut. You can see right there, her thigh cut is a little bit lower than what we expect. Thigh cut's usually up here. This one is down here, which is pretty cool, because that way it better to break up where it's black than to break up where it's skin. You know what I'm saying? Double jointed, pinless knees. She can point her toe forward that far. up that far. Pretty nice. She's got ankle pivot, and you know what time it is. Holes, peg holes at the bottom of her feet. Here's Warbird with her other head sculpt. This would technically make her Miss Marvel with this head sculpt right here, but it's still kind of windswept, just not as blatantly as the sculpt that came out of packaging, but it's every bit as lovely. Here's a look at the three figures that we've gotten. The female super articulated buck, and as stated before, we've got Sharon Carter on our right and Natasha, aka the Black Widow, on our left, and you see they've got the zipper down torso, and that's the difference between that and this. This was repurposed. I don't know if it's reused from other female or if they really actually did something different. I think they did something. I think it's new because we do have the butterfly joints to speak of, but I want you to see what's going on with the height here. And that's what I'm talking about, how Hasbro flubbed the height. You're talking about, like I said, Carol is 5'11". Natasha is 5'7". Sharon is 5'8". She should look a little bit taller, but I digress. Next up, we're going to compare the same costume versions of this character. On our right, we have the Toys R Us 3-pack exclusive, and just look at that height difference. Same goes for over here. This is our Toy Biz version, and this was that buck that I was telling you about. I'm not going to lift her up because full transparency, her foot is snapped off, so I just got her resting on it. So, but this is the height. You know what I'm saying? She should be, because like I said, she's 5'11". She's a tall gal. So, you know, everything else about this figure though has got this one totally eclipsed. And then we're not even going to talk about what's going on with Toy Biz. And now we've got a shot of Carol. Of course, in the center is our Warbird, and draping her are more up to date but not current costumes of Captain Marvel. She actually is blazing a blazer over her costume now, and her hair. She's back to sporting her long hair. So time for some updates. For my closeout shot, we've got Warbird up against the Brood Queen, which was a Build-A-Figure several years ago, and still holds up well. Like, that's what happens when you've got a non-humanoid as an action figure. It still comes out pretty good. Anyway, like I said, this is the closing shot. You also notice that I'm using third-party Crackle energy effects and not those wraparounds. You know how I do. And also how I do is, once again, full transparency. During the articulation segment, I neglected to demonstrate that our girl has an inverted ab crunch, which totally assists with being able to bend over both front and back. My apologies for that, but it is there. Anyhow, let me know what you guys think about this. The 85th anniversary celebration continues. For me, this is number 3. Going down the line in the celebration for 85 years of Marvel, courtesy of Hasbro Marvel Legends. That's what we got going on. Let me know what you think about Warbird. For me, I think the figure is great, of course, because of the super articulation, but falls short. See what I did there when it comes to height. You know, Warbird, Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers is a tall lady. She's 5'11", and she used to be depicted that way, but for some reason we got the short end of the stick. We know what reason it is. They wanted to put her on the superposable buck, so that's what they did. They were not going to tool an entirely new female buck. We already have 3 of them, you know what I'm saying? So I guess we need to just be happy with that. When you pose her up, just have her in scenes where her lack of height is being hidden. That's the only solution I can come up with. Anyway, once again, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and do all of that other good stuff, because you know how it goes down. That's how it gets done.